Haruna Iddrisu for his remarks and introduction of our next esteemed speaker. Welcome.
Yes. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the Chief of Staff and Executive Secretary to the President, the Honorable Minister for the Interior, Deputy Ministers, Chairman Ampofo, Evelyn representing the Council of State, Dasibre Nana Kweku Boateng III, heads of institutions, vice chancellors, and principals, the administrator of the GED Fund, Deputy Director General, GES, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen and students. My task this evening is a very simple one. Is to introduce our special guest of honor and guest speaker, whose thoughts is what have gathered us today. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, I had cause somewhere to say that Judge John Dramani Mahama, his hallmark with humility, judgment, and compassion. This was before December. So today I'll choose just one of those words, compassion. Today we've gathered here, John Dramani Mahama. To the students I say, compassion personified. He's come to give meaning to his pledge and honor. And for us, what is significant is that John Dramani Mahama is re-establishing trust and confidence in the elected elites of our country and our democracy. And to our students, he is working on that leg, compassion. Mr. President, I've shared with you the story at UDS. Let me now share this vivid experience of Virtues Ache Mensah, St. Mary's Boys Senior High School, was declared Best Student in Visual Arts in the 2024 West Africa Examination Council, West Africa Best Performing Student from the Western region, APOA in the Western region. Mr. President, while the West Africa Exam Council was announcing how brilliant this young man was, he was accompanied by his parents, who openly acknowledged that the boy have not been able to access tertiary education because they simply don't have the financial will to do it. Principal of SDA College, I'm sure whatever pledges and promises, the man to promise and honor is before you, John Dramani Mahama. But at least in your welcome remarks, you reminded us in this room that you are a parent. So beyond the students, many parents are very grateful, Mr. President, to this initiative. And many of them are gathered in this room. Today's meeting is for Excellency John Dramani Mahama to walk the talk and to keep honor. And for me, I simply put it this way, that John Dramani Mahama is now the fountain of honor. Today, from that fountain, they will drink with are the students in our first year tertiary public institutions across Ghana. This policy also extends to persons with disability who, Mr. President, have guaranteed full fee payment. The Honorable Deputy Minister, together with the Chair of the Federation for Disabled People, are working on the roadmap for the effective take-off of the disbursement for students who are persons who are challenged. As I said, my task is an easy one, but once you have the president and the GET Fund administrator sitting closer to him, I will conclude my introduction with one remark. Mr. President, that next year, the GET Fund will double its allocation to the Student Loan Trust from 70 million to 150 million to support students who may want to access it further. Excellency John Dramani Mahama, before I invite you to the podium, even at the WAEC ceremony, I will next week on your behalf, in honor of one of your campaign promises, lay the Scholarship Authority Bill before Parliament to deal with the nepotism, cronyism that was associated with the award of scholarship. And in that bill, now I acknowledge the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, the Honorable Nochu. In that bill, again, to the legacy, enduring legacy of President Mahama, there would be what we call the President's Scholarship for Scholarship, which will recognize awarding brilliant students in the country need areas, if it is science, mathematics, and engineering, at the President's pleasure, not nepotistic pleasure. Not nepotistic pleasure, at his pleasure. So the President's Scholarship for Scholarship will honor 10 brilliant students determined and declared by the West African Exam Council as the overall best students in the country. Then the President will then absorb them to benefit from his scholarship, and they'll have his full tenure. Let me thank Chair Clement Apak and the ministerial team that work with him, recognizing Professor George Odro, Mamle Andrew, Matilda Inusa, and Aminu, and Dr. Sajia, the Student Loan Trust, for working together to make this day come true. Now I have the greatest honor and pleasure to introduce the President of the Republic of Ghana. And I said, he works with humility, compassion, and judgment. John Dramani Mahama, Mr. President, you may want to.